Hi, Rob from DJI here, and today I am reviewing the Gitup Git2 Pro. This is my favorite budget action camera I've reviewed so far, primarily for its image and video quality, but it still has a few glitches that need to be worked out. The video quality is overall very good, with excellent detail and decent color, albeit the camera tends to meter a bit on the dark side for exposure. I don't mind this, however, as it means that I have a lot of wiggle room when post-processing. If it metered any brighter, the sky would look blown out and be terrible. This way, I can apply an HDR filter in post-processing and bring up the brightness of the foreground to make it look a little more level. This camera's most usable image quality is 1080p 60 during the day and 1080p 30 at night. The 2K mode is nice to have, but honestly I don't notice much improvement over the 1080p, and I'd rather have the smoothness of 60 frames per second. At night, this camera is one of the best I have tested, with an overall brighter image and more detail as the light starts to fade. It's not going to win any awards compared to a professional video camera, but it is more than usable. It even manages to usurp my generic AR0330 camera, which due to its low resolution was the previous king of low-light video. On the more negative side of things, I noticed that this camera tends to overcompress video, which results in blocking and loss of detail, especially in low light. Do note that most of the blocking in this video is due to YouTube's compression and not the camera. It's not actually this bad. However, overall this could be solved with a firmware update that allows us to change the bitrate. There are some drop frames as well, but that seems to be a result of the camera being picky about the memory card I put in it. Video stabilization is why the Gitup Git2 Pro is the winner in my books. The stabilization is extremely effective and puts all other cameras I've tested to date to shame. Comparing the video of multiple cameras, I couldn't believe they were shot at the same time. The Gitup wins hands down each time, and honestly, I couldn't even tell you how jittery this footage would be were it not for the stabilization. The audio quality of this camera is overall pretty good, considering the type of camera it is. Don't be expecting to record symphonies or video voiceovers with it, especially when the camera is in the case. I will leave you with one sample and you can judge for yourself.
This is what the Gitup Git2 Pro sounds like without the case on.
The Gitup also bests other competitors for still image quality. In the event that you will need to take photos with your action camera, the Gitup offers higher resolution, sharper, and more detailed images in most lighting conditions. The only time it isn't fantastic is in the pitch dark, where even most camera phones would beat it, but after all, it isn't primarily meant to be a still camera, so yeah. This camera won't win any rewards for battery life. It is decidedly average. Expect between 1.5 hours and 2 hours of filming with the Wi-Fi off. Also, the camera tends to die very suddenly, so if the battery is on the lowest indicator, I'd suggest you charge it immediately. There were a few things I wish the Gitup came with that it didn't include in the box. First off, it didn't come with an open back door for better audio recording. Bummer. Secondly, it didn't come with an extension mount piece to extend it away from wherever the mount is so that it doesn't interfere with the camera. I do prefer the waterproof case of the Gitup to other cameras I have tested. It is easier to open and feels more sturdy. The 1.5-inch screen is kind of poor quality. I find the color to be dull and the tint on my screen is heavily weighted towards red-yellow, which makes it look quite bad. It's fine for composing video, but I can't trust that what I see on the screen will be anything like the final output. The Gitup's user interface is pretty well designed and doesn't use lists. Instead, it uses icons. There are two menus, one for system settings and one under each mode, which breaks up the settings so you're not scrolling forever. I just wish it had one more button, because I am prone to scrolling past the icon I need and having to go back to the beginning and start over again. Overall, when taking into account video quality, image quality, build, user interface, and menus, the Gitup Git2 Pro is one of the best budget action cameras on the market. There's still a few small kinks to work out. The manufacturer seems to be working with the community to add features and resolve any issues with the camera. Overall, the Gitup is currently the best package by just a little bit, and each update means it just keeps getting better. Visit DJITech.com for more tech tips, advice, and more. Thank you for watching.